if guys want girls to be virtuous, then they need to hold themselves to the same standard, and this includes
Totally. Includes who?
But I'm more focused on the beginning part. So if guys want girls to be virtuous, then they need to hold themselves to the same standard.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to elaborate?
Elaborate briefly if you can.
Elaborate briefly.
Yeah.
I think that in terms of something like celibacy, especially in today's day and age, there's a reason why you're doing it. So, like, obviously for me, it's because of my faith. And so I'm going to want the men that I'm dating to have that same focus. Because it doesn't work when you're... otherwise, you fall.
Sure.
Loose Pussy Energy donated $69.
Yo, LP, good to see you in the chat,
amount
man.
of no's is insane.
Where you been, bro?
These dusty, busted as bitches think they are a bunch of tens. Stop the damn cap. There's a guy named Abdul that would play this game with you. Hashtag get the fucking rocks.
Get the rocks. Yeah. Abdul? Yeah. Get the rocks. Get the rocks.
Okay. Well, so there's the micro level on the individual level, but I think you're talking a bit more on the macro level.
Okay.
But it occurs to me that it's not like an equal one-to-one proportion of like, so you have promiscuous women. I would argue that there's more women engaging in promiscuity than there are men. What I think is happening is you'll have, for example, there'll be like, say, the top 10% of men that are hyper promiscuous. And those guys will have, say, body counts of, I don't know, over 100. And then you'll have a larger proportion of women that have, for example, 30, 40, 50 body counts. For these aren't exact numbers, but just to articulate a point. And then you'll have a huge subset of men that have zero access or minimal access to hookup culture. Typically, these men are not going to be able to get sex outside of perhaps the very rare occasional hookup, or it's going to have to be through a relationship. But almost any woman, if she was so inclined, could be a slut. Any woman could be a slut. Not every man can be a slut.
Okay.
And so if it's, say, 50% of women that are engaging in this promiscuity and it's 10% of men that are enabling it, wouldn't the blame be on the larger cohort of people that is sort of perpetuating this?
Okay. Sure.
Oh, okay, checkmate. Cool. Moving on to the next topic, I guess.
Well, no. Like, what's your point?
Well, but you're saying, well,
was I blaming
men need to be virtuous too?
In terms of, yeah. I mean,
oh, I'm not talking about pornography.
Right.
I'm just talking more so about there's this like men are promiscuous, women are promiscuous, but it seems like it's a small portion of men that have that level of sexual access. So if it's 10% of men and 50% of women, it seems like the onus is a little bit more on women there than on... Like, there's more women who are participating in this than there are men.
The problem is like with the experiment that we just did with the dating apps, is that everyone wants the same guy.
Yes,
everyone wants the same guy, and that's the problem.
Well, and I always say this too, like, even as a Christian woman, and Julie's a Christian woman, we still, as Christian women, do not tend to be attracted to the men who are virgins, because the men who are virgins tend to be involuntarily virgins, right? So we still, and the reason is because we look at men who are sexually successful with other women, and we see that they have value because other women want them.
It's like, oh, there must be something there.
Right.
Everybody's guilty.
Whereas if you get to like didn't you say your dating range was like 30 to 40 something?
Yeah, although obviously I'm willing to
but like, so you're probably not going to find a guy in his 30s or 40s who's a virgin unless he's involuntarily a virgin.
PR Aquatic donated $69. If you're scared of SA, why are you doing OnlyFans? Wouldn't you be more likely to be SA by men that pay for her body?
I'm guessing anyone with an OnlyFans, I guess.
I'll respond to that. I used to dance and stuff. I do OnlyFans because it's safe and it's from your house and it's in the protection of your own space. There's no danger.
Actually, I did a little study on OnlyFans, and I found that there's actually a pretty high rate of men who will track down women who do OnlyFans and find them and stalk them, and and there's a high rate of leakage of, so like you think this is behind a paywall, but it gets leaked a lot.
Black
so
Shepherd donated $69.
not as safe as you would
Big
think.
Brain Brian doing the Lord's work, having Rachel flex on these ignorant feminazis. I especially enjoyed her destroying the fake Christian red shirt lady who's eternally angry because of her. Based.
I don't see how I'm a fake Christian. I don't see anything that I said that would make you, unless you're like, oh, she's Protestant, so that's not real. Unless that's okay, fine. But other than that, let me know.
Okay. So going back to this, hold on, wait. You said that you disagree with Brian regarding his views on marriage, body count, premarital sex. Wait, are you so you're celibate, right?
Yeah.
How long have you been celibate for?
4 years.
4 years. Okay.
Yep.
That's pretty. Congrats. That's good.
Thank you.
4 years. Okay. So no carnal knowledge for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good times. Carnal knowledge, like sexual.
I wouldn't call it good times, Brian. I'd call it like we're surviving, but you know, the way that I would like.
The PQ is just going.
The way that the PQ is going crazy.
Chad causes the problem. He needs to put his blank down or society crumbles. Simps encourage it. Chad plus simp equals chimp behavior. Also to blank, women are bigger sleuths than virtually any males. Okay. Thank you, Final Wave Feminism. Appreciate it. Guys, get your 69s in if you want. It does occur to me that one of the problems going on is because we have this sort of very well, especially with dating apps, women have access to men that they previously didn't. I mean, still before even dating apps and social media, you could go to a bar or a nightclub, but now it makes it extremely convenient and also extremely, oh shit, what's the term I'm looking for? What's the term for keeping something kind of private?
Discreet.
Discreet.
Nice.
So you could like match with somebody on a dating app, go to their place, they go to yours. Nobody would be the wiser. So, I mean, there's a lot of discretion here, which is kind of to the benefit of people who are desirous of engaging in promiscuity. But I think what ends up happening is we all want to get the best we can get, right? We all want the most attractive person, physically attractive, however, what other ways that attractiveness can manifest itself. It could be status, could be personality, could be values, whatever it is. We all want the best we can get. I think the big difference is, and I've talked about this ad nauseum, is that men get rejected on the front end, women will get rejected on the back end. Yeah. So a guy will, what will end up happening, for example, if I were to step to a woman who is just, if we look at it objectively, she's just more attractive than I am, and let's just look at the physical metrics. If I step to a girl who's more physically attractive than I am, I'm getting an instant rejection. She's not going to entertain me for a date. She's not going to entertain me for anything. I don't even get a date with a girl who's like out of my league, let's say. Nothing. Don't get a date. Certainly won't even get any sort of sexual access or romantic access. Nothing. She wouldn't want to pursue me for short-term sex or long-term romantic relationship. It's not the same for women. Men will sleep with a woman who they would, just on the basis of her physical attractiveness, will never be in a relationship with her, but they welcome the easy access to sex. It's not like if I step to a girl who's like a 9, who's just objectively more attractive than I am, and she might have more standards than just purely physical looks, but I ain't scoring a 9, never say never. Maybe she likes my autism, I don't know. If I step to her, instant rejection. But if a girl who's like a 6 steps to a dude who's a 8 or a 9, offering who's simping for the guy and is demonstrates a high degree of desire and interest, and sexual interest especially, he'll be like, okay. He'll never give her commitment though. Why are you shaking your head?
I disagree.
You disagree with what?
I disagree with the premise that women are never that if you were to like any guy is gonna hit on a woman more attractive than him, it's instant rejection. I see women dating down constantly and having sex down constantly, like in my real life.
But here's the thing. So there's a couple things going on there. First, I think that men can offer things beyond just their physical appearance. So I can't speak to the specifics of the instances that you've seen. Perhaps he's got charisma. Perhaps he's offering something when it comes to financially. Perhaps he's got status in some sort of way. He's humorous. Women find a wide variety of things in terms of being an attraction trigger.
Dating apps are trash. Donated $69.
Thank you.
I know plenty of men who are attractive, high status, doctors, lawyers, and well-adjusted that struggle to get a lot of matches on the apps. Standards there are insane.
Yo, thank you, man. Also, another point on this, women tend to have an overinflated sense of their own physical attractiveness and the attractiveness of other women. So your assessment of your friend who you think is dating a mid guy, also, so there's I'm trying to think what it is. Men tend to rate women on a bell curve in terms of physical attractiveness.
Final Wave Feminism donated $69. Rephrasing due to censorship. Chad needs to put his peen away. He causes alpha widows. It's damaging all women and the social structure. It's why passport brothers are bad idea. Outsourced feminism.
So you're 100% right. So what ends up happening is women are able to get sexual access to men who are just frankly more physically attractive than them. It could even be other things. Like an average girl could get access to like an NFL player, NBA player. They could date a guy who's rich. You could be a 19-year-old girl in college dating a rich guy locally. He might be a little bit older, but she has sexual access to that guy. And so it makes them look at the men in their league, and they feel like they're settling.
Right.
But in actuality, that's the guy in your league. Women's league is the men who will give you commitment and a relationship and marriage.
Right, and 100 years ago, that was all you got. You didn't get the NFL player. You didn't get Chad.